ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
We're here today at the Cam Henderson Center for today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I have already hijacked the sound system here at the Henderson Center. That's a debate that's going on right now. I'm going to give you a little inside baseball right now. There's a tradition here at Marshall University that when a team comes in, usually the music that's being played for introductions of the visiting team, it used to be Who Are You? And then that's changed. It's the chicken song now. Sometimes you get a special song. So right now I'm actually helping with some input here. If it flies, I'm taking credit for it. If it doesn't, I had nothing to do with it. But we're debating what the music will be right now here at the Henderson Center for the team. There's a traditional version of God Save the Queen. It's God Save the King now, and there's also the Sex Pistols version. So if you've got suggestions for the next hour, you can text those in. We'll take them. And I'm being serious. Those suggestions are being sought right now for the Monarchs. It's got to be for the Monarchs. It's got to fit with the monarchy. So that's already an early Twitter/X and text line prompt. Text line this hour is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. I'm kind of pushing for God Save the Queen. We're going to see where you're at. Hey, coming up this hour, we're going to hear from Ryan Crisp. He's going to join us. He's technically the marketing guru here at Marshall University. He's got this long title, but he handles basically the marketing at Marshall, so we're going to catch up with him. And also, we hope to hear from Luke Creasy. He's covering Marshall baseball today. We're less than a month away from baseball at the brand new stadium in Huntington. It's going to finally be a real thing. So Luke's going to join us hopefully this hour. We'll talk to him. Bill Cornwell's going to check in early as we'll be doing our pregame show here tonight for basketball, which will also be on 93.7 The Dog. And I'm going to give you a 4-pack of tickets this hour on the text line for the game on Saturday. It's a sold-out game. Now, these tickets won't cover your women's tickets. So if you want to go to the doubleheader, you need to get those tickets. But Marshall in action on Saturday. It's going to be a sellout, but we do have tickets. And that'll be part of our text line this hour. Our texter of the day will win those tickets. And that number is 304-396-8255. 304-396-TALK. That's the number to be a part of today's show. And you've got a lot of prompts now. What do we want to hear as background music today from the soundboard behind the Monarchs? Because that's something Dan D'Antoni's been really emphasizing. When you come to a Marshall basketball game, the atmosphere is exciting. It's not just show up, watch the game, that should be enough. No, the energy level keeps getting better and better yearly. Always new ideas. Last night, if you weren't here at the Henderson Center for the women's game, let me tell you, over 2,000 fans in attendance to watch the game. Marshall got the victory over App State, and that was exciting. 2,095. They had a good student representation. All the fraternities, sororities were here doing the Greek life competitions. That was fun. The Superstars were here. We also got to watch Mike Rainbow Trout devour a human being on the court and then regurgitate him. That was hilarious. That was actually pretty funny. So it was a good game last night. Huge crowd, great atmosphere. And Kim Caldwell last night after her presser began, one of the things that she really wanted to talk about was the fact that the crowd was spectacular, and it was really a big part of why this team won.
I mean, the crowd was amazing. Not only was it packed in here, but it was loud in here, and so they were really engaged. So that, I mean, it's just huge. And honestly, in a game like tonight where we're not playing well and things really aren't going our way, it means so much. It makes us play harder. It makes us want it a little bit more. I think it's worth the 10 to 12 points that we won by. So that part's huge. The Greek night was amazing. I mean, those guys just cheered their tails off for 40 straight minutes, which is huge. So a really good environment for our athletes to play in, which I think they deserve. And Saturday's our last home game, or our last Saturday home game. So that'll be a big one for us too.
One here at the Henderson Center doubleheader. We hope that you can show up and be a part of it. We'll be on the air 3 o'clock on Saturday for our pregame coverage on 93.7 The Dog and ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. And here's something that maybe you knew, maybe you didn't know. Kim Caldwell, hot coach, right? Lots of people wanted her to be the next coach for their program, and she chose Marshall. Marshall went after her, and she chose Marshall, and she's talked about that before because she saw the potential here. The players were here. She felt that she could win and she could do something with this program, and part of the reason why that she came to Huntington to be a part of Marshall University was the support that Huntington and Marshall already showed for women's basketball.
That's why the job was important to me, is because I knew we could do this. I knew that we could pack it. I knew people in West Virginia and in Huntington care about women's basketball. And so it's definitely a selling point. There's so many empty women's basketball gyms across the country, and that's never anything I ever wanted. When I was looking at jobs throughout my career, I wanted to go somewhere where I knew we could pack the place and where women's basketball mattered. And Huntington is just continuing to prove me right.
Maybe we'll get another large crowd on Saturday. I hope so, especially with the doubleheader coming up. It'll be a fun time. I think that the energy is definitely a lot more electric than it has been in the past for a women's basketball game. This team's fun to watch. And they're right now undefeated in conference play. That's a big one as well. They're not only a fun ticket, they're winning. The Thundering Herd has a good shot of winning the regular season title. That will be added to the trophy case here at Marshall. And then a good shot of winning the conference tournament and getting that automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. I don't know if the Sun Belt's strong enough to get an at-large bid if something would happen, but I think this Marshall team is definitely destined for postseason opportunity, if not the NCAA tournament, definitely the NIT. But we're shooting big. We're shooting for the NCAA tournament. So that's what we're going to talk about later on this hour, Marshall basketball. Bill Cornwell will be with me coming up. Ryan Crisp is going to check in here in the next few minutes, and we'll talk to him as far as what's happening here at Marshall, some of the promotions you need to know about, not only for the weekend, for next week, and, of course, we got baseball. That's happening sooner than later. Something else that's happening sooner than later, we actually have an Appalachian League team. We have an Appy team, and we've got at least the first signs of this thing being real. Because today, it's right now nameless. It's the Tri-State baseball team. That's going to change. I don't know what the mascot's going to be, the logo's going to be. That's kind of kept under wraps right now. But the manager is a name today, and it's Tommy Gregg. He is the inaugural manager. He's the first-time manager ever for the new team here in Huntington. And he's going to be on the program with us tomorrow. So we're going to talk to him and get a little bit more about him and find out why he took the job in Huntington, a situation where I know it's not where you're coming back and you have a team. You got to put this thing together. Every year you got to put this thing together, especially with the Appalachian League. That's sort of the basis of this. And minor league baseball is that way for the most part. Every year you really don't know what you got coming back. You could have the best team going, and the next year you might not. But new stadium, a lot of energy surrounding baseball. You're going to have Marshall baseball. You're going to have summer baseball. So there's going to be a lot of use for the new baseball park. Jack Cook is going to be a destination for baseball for years to come here in Huntington. And so Tommy Gregg is going to join us tomorrow from the Appalachian League's newest team here in Huntington. Hopefully we'll get the name sooner than later, but right now the Tri-State baseball team. You've got any guesses on that? Our text line is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. All right. If we're talking about intro music, this is from the text line. If we're talking intro music for baseball royalty, texter says, I think it can only be Sultans of Swing. Sultans of Swing. What do you think? I've got a panel here right now. Not mic'd, but not feeling it? Sorry, texter. Not feeling it. He likes it, but not for the intro music. I mean, do we need something that's a little bit more comical or a little bit more? I mean, they play the chicken dance usually. So We're trying to upgrade here from the chicken dance using Monarchs. Your suggestions are welcome. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. And you know what? Because that suggestion got in and on the air, that texter's entered to win our 4 tickets for the game on Saturday. So good luck on that. Ryan Christ is going to join us here the next few minutes. He's on the court right now, instructing Dan D'Antoni on a few things. I don't know if that conversation, I'll have to ask him, is it Dan instructing him or is Ryan instructing him? I'm curious. We'll find out here. So he's coming up in the next few minutes. And then a little bit later on, we're going to hear from Luke Creasy if he can make it over in time to be on the show. Bill Cornwell is going to be with us. We'll talk to him ahead of the game tonight here at the Henderson Center. Marshall in action, taking on Old Dominion. 7 o'clock. We go on the air at 6 on 93.7 The Dog and ESPN 94.1. and AM 930. So Ryan's going to make his way over here in the next couple of minutes. We will talk to him about everything that is happening promotion-wise, marketing-wise, and anything that involves fans first. That's usually the motto here at Marshall University, and that's what they're looking for. We'll do that when we continue. Later on, Luke Creasy and Bill Cornwell. Full show today here at the Cam Henderson Center. I'm your host, Paul Swan. Thanks for being a part of it today here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Working Man Store in Huntington. Check out the biggest inventory of scrubs in West Virginia, featuring brands such as Healing Hands, Dickies, Cherokee, and Med Couture at the best price. Working Man Store has one of the largest selections of big and tall shirts, jackets, and jeans in the area. Working Man Store is the king of blue jeans with Levi's, Dickies, Carhartt, Lee, and Wranglers in sizes up to 72. And Working Man Store has the best selection of men's work boots and casual shoes anywhere at the best price. Working Man Store, open every day at 140 5th Avenue, Huntington.
Now is the time to add on a new bathroom or remodel your old one with the latest up-to-date bathroom fixtures from Mutual Wholesalers, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Come in today to Mutual Wholesalers' beautiful showroom and see how your new bathroom will look. Check out Acre by Max. Have a new bathroom this year. Mutual Wholesalers, locally owned and operated, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Call 304-525-9118.
Get the tire that will see you through the cold and then some. The long-lasting all-season Michelin Cross Climate 2 tire, because winter doesn't last forever. Between 11:15 and 12:05, get $70 via reward card or virtual prepaid card after online submission with the purchase of 4 new Michelin passenger or light truck tires. $70 tire rebate on all tire lines, plus a $30 bonus rebate on Michelin winter tires only. See TikTok Tire, 3rd Avenue in Huntington, across from Jones C. Edwards Stadium. www.michelinman.com/auto/deals-autos-and-promotions-and-rebates for complete detail. Offer expires 12/5/23. Void where prohibited.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, and baked lasagna. Giovanni's has the best sandwiches around, from the stromboli, Italian sub, calzones, and their signature Big Red. All dinners will be served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's Pizza, fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. If you're a sports fan, we have what you want. From the biggest game in professional football, NBA, NCAA basketball, and the NHL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials we have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check us out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
The more vulnerable among us can fall victim to abuse, neglect, and financial exploitation. When navigating your way out, it doesn't have to feel like a maze. Assistance is available from Adult Protective Services. To report neglect or abuse, call 800-352-6513. Sponsored by the Administration for Community Living, West Virginia Department of Health and Human Resources Bureau for Social Services, the West Virginia Broadcasters Association, and this station.
This project was supported by the Administration for Community Community Living, ACL, and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, as part of a financial assistance award totaling $383,493, with 75% funded by ACL HHS and 25% in the amount of $85,236 funded by state government sources. The contents are those of the authors and do not necessarily represent the official views of nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kitty Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
This is The Drive with Paul Swan on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
We're back here at the Cam Henderson Center. Coming up tonight is going to be Marshall and Old Dominion, 7 o'clock tip-off. We've got the game starting at 6 here on 93.7 The Dog and ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Ryan Crisp is with us, and of course Ryan has so many titles. We just like to shorten them all up and say he's the guy in charge of fan experiences here and marketing at Marshall University. Fun night last night, Ryan. We had the Superstars here. We actually saw a man eaten alive on the court. Thankfully, he was safe. The fish, like trout, is that what that was? It was
Mike
Rainbow Trout. Yeah. So that was fun.
It was.
I was laughing the whole time I was watching that. I don't think I've ever seen them in person, but those are some of the things that you're trying to do around here to make it more fun for the kids, because I know they were getting into it.
For sure. Obviously, I've said this multiple times. Our goal is to create fans, and I think last night we created fans. Their performance on the court has helped quite a bit in terms of getting people through the door, but then once they get here, they realize how fun it is. And I was just standing back watching even during the game, and the amount of groups of kids that were here that were just standing up, dancing the whole time, just having a good time. Was really fun to see, and the Superstars were an absolute hit, and I think they'll make an appearance back in Huntington again. They came in 2008, I believe they said, when we played Memphis home here, and haven't been back since. And so they reached out, and we were able to work it out, and it was a super good time. And I know the reaction by all was very, very positive. So we'll see if we can work them in again, either later this year at a different sport or maybe next year.
Good crowd, 2,095 officially here at the Henderson Center. I know there were more, of course, because everybody wants to come and see the hottest ticket now, and that's, of course, Marshall women's basketball. And the Thundering Herd still undefeated in conference play, which makes your job a lot easier when it comes to selling tickets. Now, the men's game on Saturday sold out. We do have a 4-pack that we're giving fans a little bit later on the show, but the women's game, still some tickets to get into the door on Saturday. So how are you handling the crossover between the men's game and the women's game?
Yeah, for sure. So obviously a very interesting situation, and with the double headers through the Sun Belt, it's something we're working through. What we're doing is obviously everyone has a men's ticket, and if you purchased a women's ticket earlier enough, we sent you an offer to claim a men's ticket for Saturday's game, and so there was about 120 tickets claimed through that process there, which got us to the sellout point. So the men's game is sold out. If you buy a ticket just for the women's game, you could definitely come for the women's game. Then after that game, you'll just have to leave and head over to a local restaurant or check it out on ESPN Plus at home. But, you know, I think if you're planning on coming to that women's game, I would strongly advise you to get onto Herd Zone right now and buy a ticket. I don't want to say that we're going to sell it out, but this is the closest we've ever been, and I think there's a great chance that we get pretty darn close to it.
So that's coming up on Saturday, doubleheader, Thundering Herd men and women. And Kim Caldwell was excited for the opportunity. I'm sure the players are excited for that opportunity as well. But if basketball isn't enough to get you here at the Henderson Center, I know you always try to make the experience fun and different. The Superstars won't be here on Saturday, but what can we expect? What do you have in store for us on Saturday?
So Saturday for the women's game is our student athlete recognition for honor roll from the fall semester. So any student that was a 3.0 or above grade point average, they come out onto the court at halftime, and you get a chance to recognize them for their hard works. You know, a lot of times we applaud them for what they do on the court or on the field or in the pool or whatever it may be. But this is a chance to honor them for their academic achievements. And when you see the amount of student athletes that walk onto the court for a 3.0 or above, it's really good to see the amount of student athletes we have that really put their focus in the classroom. And at the end of the day, a lot of these athletes will play at Marshall, and they probably won't turn professional in their sport. They'll turn professional in whatever area they may have. And so it's nice to see all those athletes and preparing themselves for the future, and that's where our job is. We get to mold and shape these athletes to go out into the real world and become, part of the workforce and shape our communities for years to come.
Basketball is starting to wind down a little bit. Still plenty of basketball, but it's starting to wind down. The home games are few and far between, so take advantage of those opportunities now as we start looking over to Jack Cook Field. Baseball is almost here. It's real. They're working on the field right now. They're getting the final touches put together, and there's still so much more that's going to happen with that after it opens. How are we as far as opening up general admission? I know tickets are going to be a premium, and I know you're working on finally having some of those availabilities for fans. Where are we at with that, and what can we expect?
Yeah, for sure. So today we went on sale to the general public for season tickets. So we did the brick list, anyone that bought a brick. Then we went to Big Green members for a week, and we had great success this past week with selling more tickets, and now it's open to the general public. So if you're looking to grab a baseball season ticket, now's your time to do it. I don't want to put a timeline on it, but ideally by the end of next week, early the following week is when we'll be able to release all the information when it comes to single game tickets, how it's going to work, standing room options, everything that's involved with that. Obviously, I know everyone is so excited about opening day and opening weekend, and it's a packed, there's so many events going on that weekend here in Huntington between women's basketball senior day and softball's hosting a tournament that weekend as well. So more information will be coming. I know it's hard, but just be patient, and I promise you it's coming out. We're still waiting on some stuff from higher levels in terms of capacity numbers and all that kind of stuff. So once we get those finalized, then we can move pretty quickly. We have everything ready to go on our end. It's just a matter of getting the final approvals, and once we do that, we'll go quick.
And then after Marshall baseball, we're going to have Appy League action. We got the name of the manager today. It's going to be Tommy Gregg. He's with us tomorrow on the show. We're going to talk to him, and he is going to be someone that I'm excited to talk to because hearing about how excited he was about the job makes me more excited for this, and I know you're excited for just continuation of baseball after Marshall is done.
For sure. It's a great thing for Huntington just to have something in the summer, something that you're able to do and experience, and it's also great for our student athletes. We get to put 4 athletes on that team every year. And it's a really good college wood bat league where they're going to get scouted at a high level. So it's good for our student athletes. It's good for our recruiting. It's good for Huntington, for the community. And it's just another way to utilize that beautiful ballpark that's, 27, 28 days away from opening.
How soon will we know about the ticket situation for the new Tri-State team? Is that going to go through Marshall, or is that going to be separate? Is that something you can share right now, or you have any insight?
Yeah, it'll be a joint effort early on, so we'll get that out. I don't have a definite timeline. I would say probably, mid-April to May, I would think, is when we'll be ready to officially go with that. I would be on the lookout when the team name gets announced here shortly for a season ticket interest list where you can fill out the form and you'll be first to be able to buy. And then also our season ticket holders for our Marshall baseball team are going to have first right of refusal for their seats as well. So, becoming a season ticket holder for Marshall will not only get you the Marshall tickets, but it'll also give you the first right to purchase tickets for the Tri-State baseball team.
Okay, so that's an extra added incentive if you haven't got your season tickets yet for Marshall baseball. If you want to enjoy both, you like your seat, lock them in for both. You're all set. We have baseball all spring and summer long at the Cook.
That's right. Yeah, Huntington is an amazing place, and it's come a long way, and there's so much growth and opportunity here, and it's just another form of family entertainment that you're going to be able to do throughout the summer. So it's something to do. It's going to be an affordable option for people, so I think it's going to be a great option.
We haven't talked that much about softball, and I know softball is about ready to go as well, and you've got upgraded seats there. So more seats mean more fans. That means more opportunities to see softball. How exciting is that to see some of the improvements that are happening at the Dot, and maybe more fans will be able to take in a softball game as well this year?
For sure. Today the video board there was turned on for the first time, and it worked. The full video board was up and operational, which is great to see. So that just adds another element to the game day for us and makes our jobs a little easier to do, and it gives us another option to entertain our fans during that game. The lights are a huge upgrade. There was, games last year at baseball specifically, but it could have happened at softball where, you had to go into extra innings and it was too dark. You had to pause the game till the next day, delay the game till the next day. We don't have to worry about that anymore. So I know before they would have to play a Tuesday game at 4 o'clock or 2 o'clock or whatever it may be. And that's hard for fans to get to. Everyone's got a job to go to, and it's hard to say, hey, I need to take this afternoon off for Marshall softball or Marshall baseball. And now with the facility upgrades that we have made and building baseball facility, hopefully it becomes easier for fans because we're able to play at more convenient times for everyone to be a part of it.
Everything looks like it's ready to go. I drove by there the other night, and I thought, oh, wow, the baseball lights are on, and it was very bright. I went past and that's not baseball. That's softball.
That's softball, yeah.
That's softball. That was very bright and very vivid, and I did not see any shadows or anything that looked like that would be a problem. It's well lit. Good job. I know you had everything to do with it, right, Chris?
That's right. No, I think that was old Andrew Brown there making that happen, and I know softball's going to get out and practice under those lights a few times and correct anything like you just said that we need to correct with shadows or dead zones or anything like that. But I agree with you. I drove by as well, and I don't think there's going to be any dead zones, that's for sure.
No,
shadows, they may have to adjust a couple of lights, but dead zones are covered.
Yeah, it was vivid. Ryan Crisp is with us. He is, of course, the guy you go to when it comes to fan engagement. We've got a good one here tonight. Marshall needing to pay back Old Dominion for, let's just say, there's some payback in store for the game tonight as Marshall's taking on the Monarchs. Crispy, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Always love it when we get to chat and talk about what's happening at Marshall. I think it's really something that Herd fans really get into and get kind of a first-hand account of what they can expect.
For sure. No, Paul, I appreciate it. And, yeah, go Herd.
When we continue, hey, Luke Creasy can't make it. You know who we've got to fill in for him?
I hope it is Mark Martin.
It is Mark Martin.
Oh, yeah.
It is Mark Martin. This guy is a legend, and in his many years of a broadcaster, I think he's got every award there's possibly you can win. If not, that's going to be rectified soon. Mark Martin joins us when we continue on this edition of The Drive.
Shop Menards today and save big money. Put the finishing touches on your kitchen or bathroom with a new faucet from Moen. Moen creates faucets that feature innovative technology and have a timeless aesthetic. Available in a variety of styles and finishes, find the perfect faucet for your home with Moen's wide selection of kitchen and bathroom faucets. Get the Mica 2-handle widespread matte black bath faucet for $149.99. Sale price is good through February 4th, now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. If you're a sports fan, we have what you want. From the biggest game in professional football, NBA, NCAA basketball, and the NHL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials we have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check us out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the Tri-State. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text KING to 425
42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text KING to 42424. That's KING to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
If you're looking to move out of your parents' place, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive, which is good because your little brother has gotten really territorial. You're blood related. You'd think it would be fine to share food in the fridge. I mean, who writes their name on every individually wrapped slice of cheese, Tyler? Still, you've got to admire the commitment. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and use the savings to help you move out and have all the cheese you want. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
Our Kindred Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
Marshall Orthopedics, the Tri-State's leader for orthopedic care. MarshallHealth.org/orthopedics. Mount West Community and Technical College. Go far, close to home with Mount West Community and Technical College in Huntington. Online at mctc.edu. Lulu's, the Tri-State's premier smoke shop.
If you're looking to move out of your parents' place, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive, which is good because your little brother has gotten really territorial. You're blood related. You'd think it would be fine to share food in the fridge. I mean, who writes their name on every individually wrapped slice of cheese, Tyler? Still, you've got to admire the commitment. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and use the savings to help you move out and have all the cheese you want. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
This is The Drive with Paul Swan on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Back here at the Henderson Center for tonight's game between Marshall and Old Dominion. And if you're watching it on ESPN Plus, the voice you're going to hear is Mark Martin, legendary sportscaster Mark Martin. He's with us now on the program. How you been?
I've been good, buddy. How about you?
I'm well. It's been too long since you've had an opportunity to come join us, and we're excited. You've been calling games all season long for Thundering Herd and ESPN Plus, so I never get a chance to really talk to you.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've had the chance to do it now for a few years now, and this year, blended in a lot more of the women's games as well as the men's, and boy, I tell you what, last night was an electric atmosphere here, and I'm sure we're going to see that here tonight in this matchup, this revenge matchup with Old Dominion, and then cannot wait for Saturday. I know I shouldn't be even saying that because, Coach Dan, when I do his coach's show, it's hard to even get him to talk about the Saturday opponent, even though the show's airing on a Saturday. So, but nonetheless, excited here tonight and looking forward to being back here on Saturday as well. And I'm sure you agree with this, Paul. I've always felt like anytime we can put the headsets on or clip a mic to our suits, it's a blessing.
Yeah, and Herd fans are going to get double the dose of you, right? Because you're going to do both games on Saturday.
Yes. I look forward to that.
There's not that much time in between, Mark.
No, there's not a lot of time, but I think we can pull it off. Hey, I pulled off swimming and basketball last Saturday. So
yeah?
I think I can do two basketballs back to back. I think my record of basketball in one day is 5.
Okay.
High school events.
State tournament?
No, it wasn't the state tournament. It's actually been this event down in Beckley, and I've been going to do that for the past several years. It's just a, it's a week-long event. I only do it usually on Friday, possibly Saturday if I don't have something else going on. But, so that's usually 5 a day, so 20 minutes between each game. So you better have your charts ready to go.
And young broadcasters today, let me tell you, youngsters out there, they use computers and they type it up and they have spreadsheets. Not Mark. Mark does his by hand, and you probably get more on the sheet than we can on a spreadsheet the way you do your notes.
Yeah, I've kind of tweaked this year after year after year, and always every year I say, well, I just wish the square was a little bigger to get a little bit more in there, but and then I've condensed, and then I've got a packet of clear plastic sheet covers, which are down there, and so I have a lot of notes on that too. So yeah, between all of it, hopefully it sounds okay.
So the youngsters that come up to you go, what are those, Mark?
Yeah, what are those? Yeah.
What are those?
Yeah, I did, with Marshall, I printed off a bunch theirs this season, then I just obviously refresh everything. But each time I do it, though, I always say I need to go back and make the green a little more green. Because when I print it out, it doesn't quite look green. But yeah, so I got lots of Sharpies and lots of colored pens.
What are you expecting out of this one tonight? As you mentioned, Marshall needing a little revenge after what happened last time these two teams met.
Well, what is it they say? Victory is sweet, especially when it comes in the form of revenge. And I think, obviously, this Marshall team is playing pretty well, got back on the winning side of things, so they feel good. And, Coach D'Antoni knew this stretch of 4 home games, you better take advantage of that because, obviously, you're not going to have that many more after this. So, Old Dominion's been through a lot this season. But, boy, when they played Marshall the last time, obviously they got a piece missing. I'm sure you've touched upon that. So that they won't have that they did have the last time out. And when you think about this team and, a great coach like Jeff Jones and, again, our thoughts and prayers, continue to go out with a veteran of coaching in Jeff Jones. He's been a lot of places and been a success wherever he's been. So, that had to be scary for everybody. And, so they've had to make a lot of changes along the way. And sometimes you're just going to have seasons like that. But, there is one thing. The beauty of basketball, Paul, is that the slate will be wiped clean, here in just a matter of weeks.
Tournament time, always a favorite of ours here at the radio station, not only with Marshall, but the NCAA tournament. And, you mentioned missing a piece tonight in Vashon Alette, leading scorer for Old Dominion. He's a big reason why they've been able to find some success on the court. Now he's gone. Dan talked about it a little bit in the presser the other day, and we'll touch on that here later with our pregame show. But he basically said sometimes it doesn't impact them right away, and they might be even more dangerous without him.
Yeah, well, you got to pick up the pieces and move on regardless of who is out there, whether it's an injury, whether it is a disciplinary situation such as this was, and obviously he's not returning. So, it's, what they say, next man up. So a lot of guys have had to step up and, you tweak, your rotation and however you're going to do things. And so they come in here tonight. Obviously, those young men that played against Marshall the last time, they've got confidence, but now they got to try to do it inside Marshall's home venue.
And you mentioned the word tweak. That's a word that Dan D'Antoni's used a lot to describe what he's been doing as of late. The offense is going a little bit more through Nate Martin. You've seen that now for a couple of games. You like it, obviously, because Marshall's been able to win, but the offense has picked up since it's gone through Nate a little bit more.
Yeah, and I was teasing Coach D'Antoni that I said, I don't think down the road anywhere that Nate and I are related.
Have you checked, though?
It could be. Dan wasn't buying it. He wasn't buying it.
Have you gone over to Nate and said, hey, we can be cousins?
I showed Dan my football pictures from back in the day from high school and college, just to reassure him that there had been a little bit of athletic.
Now that I look at him, he's got a little longer hair than you do.
Yes.
But if you look at him, the mustaches are similar.
Yeah. Okay.
There could be an argument that you're related to Nate Martin.
Well, you said it's running through him, and I think it's working because he was the player of the week in the Sun Belt. And he's just a kid that, night in, night out, you kind of know what you're going to get with him. And boy, the way that started with Southern Miss the other day, I thought there for a while he was going to score them all. And just a nice player. It's been nice to get him there. Obviously, in this day and age, Paul, of college athletics, you lose guys. You got to go somewhere and try to pick them up, and boy, what a great pickup that was.
Mr. Double-Double, I hope you have an extra spot for him on your spotting board.
Yeah, well, I was running out of room there the other day. I thought, I'm going to have to not make my numbers quite as big, because I do the running score here, of individual scoring, so I felt like I was going to have to start writing a little smaller to cram it all in there.
Mark Martin's with us. He'll have the call tonight on ESPN Plus. You and the TBT legend, Ott Elmore, will be with you on the broadcast tonight.
It's been a real joy to work with Ott. Ott's, I think he's got a bright future as an analyst. He wants to pursue this thing. Obviously, both he and John, just sharp cookies, from their days here at Marshall. And obviously, it was just so funny. I remember when he was coaching and said, well, he's going to get out of coaching and go to law school. And then, boom, he's already out of law school. He's a lawyer. So he knows what he's doing. And it's been real enjoyable working with him And likewise with the former Marshall women's coach, Sarah Evans-Moore, there on the women's telecast. She's a great one as well.
Good to be friends with a lawyer. Always good to be friends with a lawyer.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You never know. Although they're kind of in, I think Ott and them are, I forget what it is they do. I'm not sure they could help the two of us much. I think it's more land, Paul, but I'm not really sure what they do. But you never know.
Find out tonight during the broadcast. Let us know.
Okay.
That is Mark Martin. He'll be on the call tonight, ESPN Plus, and we'll be keeping an eye on you tonight as well, and look forward to it. And come back next time. We got a few more games here during the week. Come back.
Anytime, Paul. Always enjoy being with you, buddy.
When we continue, I don't know if we can follow. I don't know if we can follow up, but we're going to try. We've got Bill Cornwell coming up next. I don't know if you
got Billy C in the house. That's a good thing.
Yeah, this is a tough act to follow. I'm sorry.
Bill has been known to spin a yarn or two in his day.
Yes, he has. Bill's going to join us ahead of our pregame coming up tonight, 6 o'clock on 93.7 The Dog and ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. The legend, Mark Martin. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul.
More coming up on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Stuck in a state of falling behind, struggling to keep up with kids, finances, insurance, and life? Well, let your State Farm agent help you simplify and get to a better state. With State Farm handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. More money, too. Adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40% and help you get ahead. Call an agent today and get to a better state with State Farm. In Huntington, John Garton, 304-525-1116. In Barbersville, Marcia Slater, 304-736-6100. And in Cerrito, Aaron Billups, 304-453-4600. Metro Community Federal Credit Union has been serving the Huntington community for 70 years and is proud to announce our newest location in Lavalette is now open. Wayne County residents, you now have access to a modern banking facility, a full range of services, advanced technology, expert financial advice, and even a smart coffee kiosk cafe. Learn more about Metro Community Federal Credit Union online at metrocommunityfcu.com or visit us today on 5th Street Road.
Equal housing lender, member NCUA.
Glockner's Too Easy initiative has returned for 2024. We're making it too easy to get more for your trade with our biggest cash offers. We pay more. Too easy to save time because Glockner has the fastest, most transparent 5-star shopping experience around. Too easy to find the vehicle perfect for you as Glockner has the area's biggest pre-owned inventory. That's why it's too easy to buy a car at Glockner.
We make it easy at Glockner.com.
Giovanni's Pizza. Fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Get the appliances you need right away at Lowe's. Explore the largest assortment of brands you trust, like Whirlpool, Samsung, and LG, in-store or online at the best values. Plus, take advantage of our everyday financing offers on top items, from refrigerators to laundry pairs. And there's more. Get your new appliances delivered or installed quickly at your convenience. Because Lowe's knows appliances, Lowe's knows home improvement. Subject to credit approval.
In the tapestry of life, we encounter stories of legacy and accomplishment, but sometimes also abuse, neglect, or financial exploitation. Adult Protective Services understands the importance of safeguarding the well-being of our loved ones, our neighbors, and our community. To report neglect or abuse, call 800-352-6513. Sponsored by the Administration for Community Living, West Virginia Department of Health and Human Resources, Bureau for Social Services, the West Virginia Broadcasters Association, and this station. This project was supported by the Administration for Community Living, ACL, and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, as part of a financial assistance award totaling $383,493, with 75% funded by ACL, HHS, and 25% in the amount of $85,236 funded by state government sources. The contents are those of the authors and do not necessarily represent the official views of, nor an endorsement by, ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
Jordan B. Peterson, We Who Wrestle with God Tour.
If you say the truth and nothing else, you'll have an immense adventure as a consequence. You won't know what's going to happen to you, but the truth will reveal the world the way it's intended to be revealed, and the consequence for you will be that you'll have the adventure of your life.
Live at Charleston Municipal Auditorium, February 7th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Cut down on heating bills with a Central Boiler Outdoor Wood Furnace. Heat multiple buildings, pools, and hot tubs, all with one furnace. And get unlimited hot water. Come to Altizer Farm Supply and see the Central Boiler Outdoor Wood Furnaces at 585 Centerpoint Road in Thurman, Ohio. 740-245-5193. This is The Drive with Paul Swan on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
We continue on here at the Cam Henderson Center. Tonight, Marshall taking on Old Dominion, looking for a little revenge. And we're going to talk about it more coming up at 6 o'clock on 93.7 The Dog and here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930, as it is West Virginia Appalachian Laborers District Council College Basketball today, presented by Lyona, your workforce solution, WVLDC.org. Bill Cornwell is with us, and he'll be with me coming up in the next few minutes on 93.7 The Dog. And this one's a must-win for the Thundering Herd. Yeah. You want to rebound from that embarrassing loss. That was one of those games where I'm sure Dan peeled the paint in the locker room after the loss.
Hey, what did he say even at the end of the game? He said, even when we were up 4 at halftime, we were playing bad basketball, and it got worse, and obviously it was embarrassing. It was just kind of a night, especially in the second half down there in Norfolk, where it's just almost as if the guys just kind of ran out on the court and just thought, well, we're going to win because these guys don't have a very good record and their coach is gone and vice versa. And that wasn't the case. Give credit to interim coach Kieran Donahue. He had those guys ready. They competed. And despite the fact that the only win in the Sun Belt for ODU is Marshall, these guys believe, we beat Marshall once. We can come in here and do it again. So it's going to be the Thundering Herd's job to quickly dissuade them of that belief. And, of course, if the Herd can play the way they played Saturday night against Southern Miss, they should be able to handle these guys pretty good because this is a shorthanded Old Dominion team.
They are missing their leading scorer.
Yes, he's gone.
Bashan Alette. He was dismissed from the team. He was a big part of why Old Dominion was able to find some semblance of success. And so now that he's gone, Dan talked about that earlier this week in his presser, and he really thinks that they're going to be a team that right now they won't miss him too much. Maybe later on they will, but right away there might not be a drop-off.
Yeah, the one thing that Dan warned about this team, they're still physical and they still will mix it up inside with you. You got to be ready for that.
Here's what Dan had to say earlier in the week.
Early on, you don't know if it's going to hurt him or not. I think over a long haul, maybe so, because he was a very good player. But sometimes when you get that little bump in the road, those first two, after that, they're still pretty good. They're still trying to show some people that we can do this.
More about Old Dominion tonight. We'll have our pregame coming up 6 o'clock on 93.7 The Dog and ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We've been following along with everyone else in the Tri-State. We talked about it earlier today, and Bill's his first time we've got a chance to talk about it. Tommy Gregg, the new and first ever manager for the now named, not final name, but the Tri-State baseball team.
Tri-State baseball.
That's all we can call them right now.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, the name of the team, the colors of the team. Next week, we're supposed to hear the pitching coach name. But Tommy Gregg, you talk about a guy that there's all kinds of stickers on his suitcase because this guy played for about 6-7 teams in the major league. He's had a 35-year career either playing or coaching, managing in baseball. So he brings great experience. He's excited about playing at Jack Cook Field for sure.
He was last year a coach for the Pulaski River Turtles.
Yep.
And I talked to their media relations guy earlier today. We're going to have Coach come on the show with us tomorrow. Tommy's going to be with us about 5:15.
Good.
But just kind of getting a little background on him. He, as you mentioned, he has a lot of bumper stickers from where he's been. And he said that last year was probably some of the most fun he's ever had, in baseball with his career because of the young people that he was able to teach and work with. And so now he's going to be the manager for Marshall/Huntington's summer baseball team. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is about this league, it's not the old Well, we're got all the rookies from a major league system. These are college kids. They're hungry. They want to show what they can do to major league scouts. And that's the kind of kids that we're going to have in this league and in Huntington playing at Jack Cook Field this summer, and it's exciting. They don't have the Major League links, but Major League Baseball is still involved with this. It is an affiliate league, just like the Atlantic League, which, of course, is the Charleston Dirty Birds.
The good thing about this is it's upward moving.
It is.
And that's, I think, what is needed. Nothing against any other of these leagues that have tried to hang on, have sprung up. Baseball's baseball, I get it. But I've always enjoyed upward movement in watching baseball. That's why minor league baseball, to me, works, because these kids are trying to work to the next level, and you get to see that, and it's going to be good high-level baseball with college talent. It's going to be good.
And in case you're wondering, these are college kids, but this is a wood bat league. They're not going to be out there pinging with aluminum bats.
Even better.
It's a wood bat league, so you're playing with legit baseball equipment and in a ballpark that's, it's going to be interesting. We're still waiting to see how Jack Cook Field is going to be. Is it going to be a hitter's park, a pitcher's park? I'm kind of thinking it's more of a pitcher's park. Dimensions are pretty significant in that ballpark.
Going to be a fun time. And, of course, tomorrow on the show, Tommy Gregg will join us. We'll talk to him about his journey to Huntington. I know he's excited. It's going to be a couple months before he can make it to Huntington with all his other obligations, but he'll be here. The team will be here.
Yep.
It's going to be fun. We're going to find out the name of the team soon. I threw out the Fluffy Cows. I don't know what we're going to get.
Well, I've heard Slaw Dogs too, but
Slaw Dogs.
Well, here's the thing to know. There's going to be a game June 4th at Jack Cook Field. Just put it on your calendar because that's opening night.
How about the Huntington Cooks? I don't know. You can have so much fun with this. We can have a lot.
We could call the pitching mound the kitchen.
Texter wrote in just a few minutes ago, who are the Henderson Center announcers for the men's and women's games? You've got Steve Cotton, of course, who's doing the radio. You've got Mark Martin, who's doing the TV.
Yep.
And, of course, on the PA, if you're talking about the announcers there, it is Mike Kurtner.
It's our boss, Mike Kurtner.
And he's great.
And for the women's, it's a Marshall student, Ben Westfall.
Ben Westfall, yeah. So Mr. Kurtner is great.
And he's done it for a long time, kind of like me with football.
He has you beaten years, though.
He's got me a lot beat.
He's got you beaten years.
A lot beat.
So we're giving away 4 tickets to the game on Saturday.
The sold-out
game. So for those of you who have texted in today, Jason Toy back in the studio. Blame it on Jason if you don't win. Jason's going to pick one of you randomly, and you are going to have a shot to win that 4-pack of tickets. You got to pick them up. You got to pick them up tomorrow.
Yep.
We can't hold them for you. So.
And these tickets are for both games. The women's game at 1.
No. The 4-pack's just for the men's game.
Oh, okay.
I
thought it was for both.
No, but it's for the men's game.
Maybe you can sneak in.
Maybe you can sneak in. I don't know. Tickets are still available. It's not close to it's close. It's not a sellout, but there are tickets still available for the women's game.
But the men's game is sold out.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a good sign.
It's
a good sign that people
sold out Tuesday, as a matter of fact.
That's even better. So a lot of energy here for the Henderson Center. It's been fun. Superstars were fun last night.
Oh, they were great.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I got here a few minutes after you did, and I caught the show, and then I caught the Mike Rainbow Trout just digest that guy. It was hilarious.
Tommy the Swordfish.
Yeah. See, that stuff makes me smile, and I know the kids were into it completely. They were fun. Hopefully they'll come back, and we'll have a good time tonight here at the Henderson Center. All right, we're going to transition over to 93.7 The Dog. We got to put our serious faces on now, Bill. We've got basketball coverage coming up. Marshall taking on Old Dominion. We'll talk more about it here in about 40 seconds.